Alright, for this problem, I'm going to, this is a little trickier because I've got two square roots, so there's a couple ways to do it, but I'm going to do it by first isolating the bigger square root by subtracting the smaller one. But then you got to be careful because when you square both sides here, you're still going to have a square root. Because this thing right here is going to turn into 4 minus 8 root x plus x. And this is just going to be x minus 24.
That's where this part
So
is.
you're still going to have a square root, but now you got to do that whole thing again. So move everything over to the other side.
Where did you get the 8 from?
Because what's 4 minus root x times 4 minus root x? That's going to be negative, it's going to be negative 4 root x minus 4 root x. You're going to have two of them. Actually, this shouldn't be 4. Sorry, this should be 16.
Okay.
Glad you pointed that out. Yeah.
16.
So that's where those come from.
16.
But now I've got to do that same thing. I got to isolate that. I got to isolate this radical once again. So let's subtract x from both sides. Actually, this is nice because the x just goes away. See what happened there? Now when I subtract 16 from both sides, that's going to be negative 40 equals negative 8 root x. Now when I divide both sides by 8, I get 5 equals root x.
Can you take the 8 out? Can you divide that?
Yep, I'm dividing it because this should
Would
be
you square it
multiplied.
first or no?
No, because you always want to isolate. You don't square it first. You always want to isolate just the radical.
I didn't think that you were able to take the.
Sure, you can. Yeah, you can separate the negative 8 from the square root. If it was on the inside, you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's on the outside. So now I'm going to square both sides, and I get x equals 25. Now, I got to be careful here, because this might not actually be a solution. It might be extraneous. So let's check it. Let's plug it in. What's the square root of 25?
5. 1. No, it's not.
It's 5. And what's the square root of 1? 1, which does not equal 4. So it's an extraneous solution. So the answer for this would be no solution.